In the name of Almighty Allah, respected audience, very good afternoon. This is Noshab Ali Khan, attorney at law, Adjunct professor, Beaconhouse National University. Today's video briefing relates to the recent announcement made by University of Health Sciences related to admissions in private and public sector medical and dental colleges in Punjab, and they have stopped or withhold the announcement of result which was expected to be announced recently. In today's briefing, keeping in view the queries made by parents and hundreds of students and keeping in view their hardships and confusion, I opted as a student of law to give a briefing on the subject matter, and end of the day there is a wonderful news to share, there is a good news to share with the students and parents. So to begin with this briefing, first of all, this is very important to know that recently Lahore High Court Lahore has restrained, as per the announcement made by University of Health Sciences, has restrained UHS to announce the result of admissions in public sector medical and dental colleges. And let me brief first of all that what was the background of this restraining order and what implications or positive outcome we can anticipate from this litigation. Since the matter pertains to cross-section hardships, since it's a matter of public importance, as a student of law, I thought that this is appropriate that I should assist my audience on this subject matter. First of all, this is required to bear in mind that the admission regulations 2018 were promulgated by Pakistan Medical and Dental Council, and an impression in number of recent announcements, notifications issued by PMNDC and UHS, this impression was given that perhaps these amendments are the one which were in consonance with the order passed by Honorable Supreme Court of Pakistan. I would like to draw the attention of my very valuable audience that there is an order in place by Honorable Supreme Court of Pakistan dated 17th September 2018, which reads, and I will read the relevant ratio of that order, that these regulations, draft laws, shall be susceptible to the amendments, changes made by the Permanent Council at the relevant point of time. Now, the pivotal importance needs to be given to the fact that Honorable Supreme Court has said that by the duly elected Permanent Council can make the changes in amendments made in laws or draft amendments which were presented to the Honorable Supreme Court of Pakistan on 17th September 2018. Now the question is that in Admission Regulations 2018, the recent amendments which were publicized through the national print and electronic media relates to Admission Regulation 2018 as amended on 30th May 2019. But the question is that whether these amendments and notifications are made by duly elected council, are made by a permanent council. If this question is posed, the reply to this question is no, there is no elected PMNDC in place at this point in time, neither it is permanent nor elected. Now the question is that whether these notifications, circulars, announcements which are very vital to the admissions in public and private sector medical colleges, and if I quickly refer to the matter which has now been brought to the Honorable Lahore High Court Lahore, that relates to the very primary fact and that relates to the regulations 2018 and the changes. If I draw your attention or bring to your knowledge that the changes are, for example, the regulation 7 of subregulation 2 of regulation 7, which deals with 70% aggregate marks. Now, if we look into these regulations, this is creating immense hardship for dual nationality holders, overseas Pakistanis, and foreign nationals. And how come this is creating immense hardship? Because 70% aggregate marks are required, and whereas they are already in a disadvantageous position, that when they seek equivalence by IBCC, almost 15% marks are deducted, and resultantly this is very hard and difficult for overseas Pakistanis, foreign nationals, and dual nationality holders to seek admission on merit seats and on quota seats having 70% aggregate marks in their relevant subjects. So this is a regulation which needs a consideration first of all. And if we move on, regulations regarding to the applicability of admission test, in fact, for private medical and dental colleges, and this requirement to earn at least 60% marks. Now we need to see that whether this requirement is universally applicable all over the country, and if there is any discrimination, again this is really something which needs to be considered. And if we move on, sub-regulation 8 of regulation 9, and that especially the relevant proviso which deals with 60% marks in MD-CAT examination. And furthermore, regulation 20A of sub-regulation 20A of regulation 9, that deals with preference of top 3 choices. Now again, this is something which is creating difficulty for students, that they have limited choices to make, and if they have given just 3 choices that they can make, and afterwards this is the sole discretion of admitting universities, that after these 3 choices where a student is going to be admitted or going to be granted admission. And furthermore, the regulation 12, and especially the recent notifications issued by Learned Registrar of PMNDC, these are really these notifications needs consideration or needs legal surgery, that whether Learned Registrar is competent to issue these amendments, to issue these notifications, where he has compromised with the hostel fee of foreign students, and that is in derogation of regulations 2018. And furthermore, regulations, as I said earlier, that keeping in view the changes made by individuals in PMNDC, since there is no permanent council, and those non-elected individuals, they are bringing about vital changes in regulations, which presumably their draft was presented in the Supreme Court on 17th September 2018. And as I said, that these notifications are against the order passed by the Honorable Supreme Court. As I said earlier, that Honorable Supreme Court has said that if any changes are required to be made, these are susceptible to be amended by the permanent council. And as I said, there is no permanent council, there is no duly elected constituted PMNDC in place at this point in time. But the recent litigation which is brought, an order is passed, and an announcement is made on 10th October 2019 by UHS that we are withholding the announcement of result, keeping in view the order passed by Honorable Lahore High Court, Lahore. The good part is that today, while I'm submitting these details and briefing in order to eradicate the confusion, today is 11th of October, and as per regulation, admission in public sector medical and dental colleges, the first list needs to be displayed till 31st of October, and then comes the turn of private sector medical and dental colleges, and this whole process of final merit list is required to be displayed by 31st of December each year, meaning thereby there is adequate time, and if Honorable Court has taken the cognizance of this matter, there is every likelihood that the hardships pertaining to the fee structure for medical and dental colleges, especially in private sector, hardships pertaining to preference of top three choices, hardships pertaining to the very factum that 60% marks are mandatory in entry test, and especially the question of applicability of CAT all over the country, whether you have taken CAT examination from one admitting university and that admission test you have taken is applicable all over the country. So whether this provision is or this regulation is truly applied in these admission, this needs to be seen, and so these are the few areas where law has provided the provisions, but through the recent notifications, amendments and announcements, the changes are being made. So now the Honorable Court will look into this very fact, that whether the present council comprising of certain individuals, whether they are competent constitutionally and legally to bring about these changes which are causing or de-shaping the future of our youngsters and the new generation. So keeping in view these changes made, these submissions are shared. If you have any queries, please drop an email at Noshab Ali Khan at gmail.com. It is NOSHABALIKHAN at gmail.com, or you can leave a text message at 0321 8690 229. And I wish you all the best. I hope sanity will prevail, and there is every likelihood that as honorable courts always come for the rescue for the grant of legitimate, lawful and constitutional rights of the common man, I hope that by the grace of Almighty Allah, the hardships of the students will be minimized and they will be able to start a very bright future in the field of medical sciences in order to serve the ailing humanity. My best wishes are with you. Thank you very much. Allah Hafiz.